Hey, what's up? It's me, Jessica J, and I was just wondering if you've ever sat and thought to yourself, how do I keep her wanting me once I have her? Well, so I'm glad you asked because I very recently started reading this new book called Mating in Captivity by Esther Perel, where she talks about this idea of getting desensitized to one another the second we catch each other, so to speak, and how we can not necessarily prevent, but how we can help, how we can help navigate that ebb and flow between catching each other and being closer and then losing that desire for one another and then getting it back. So today I'm going to go over exactly what that number one secret is to keeping her wanting you once you get each other, so that you never have to worry about losing out on the chick that you worked so hard to get ever again. And to make sure you never miss out on another little tidbit like this or another one of my videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button with that notification bell. Okay, so you've probably either postulated yourself or seen in the comments that chicks only want guys that they can't have. And I would go ahead and challenge you in saying that a lot of us usually want what we can't have or get. In psychology, we call it this closed loop effect, where our brain has not been able to necessarily see the end, so it continuously refreshes this thing in our minds until we're able to create the closing in that loop. So for instance, have you ever gotten a song stuck in your head and maybe it's just like a little single part of the song, maybe you don't even know how it ends, but you can't stop thinking about the song because maybe you don't even know how the song ends. That's an idea, or that's an example of what an open loop in your brain is. And when we are in a state of being unable to catch a person, that's kind of where obsession comes from, and that's where we start to think about them all the time. Or when you get these intermittent reinforcements, yet another psychology term, it's when you get a little bit here, a little bit there, and then she goes to, and then 3 weeks later you hear from her again. It's this idea of our brain saying, wait, look, sometimes we get it, even though we mostly never get it, sometimes we do. So we're gonna keep this loop open. Does that make sense? So what happens when we do actually get the person that we do want? I talk about this all the time in regards to keep dating us. We're not just trophies to be won and put on the shelf while you get back to your regular life and forget all about us. And we women are no different. When it comes to the whole courting process, we look at you as a prize to be won as well. So once we get you and you become ingrained in our lives and lifestyles, it's very easy for the both of us to become toasters to one another. For those of you who haven't been on my channel long enough, becoming toasters mean, when you first get the toaster, it's because you want it and you need it because you want some toast. And eventually you're like, no, I don't really want to do bread anymore. So the toaster just kind of sits there. You don't notice it anymore because it's a part of your everyday life. Who gives a fuck about the toaster? And the only time you notice is when it's either broken, not working to your advantage anymore, or it's just gone. So sorry, back to the number one secret to keeping a woman wanting you after that entire desensitization process is to maintain your own separateness. Here's the thing, when we get into relationships, when we're dating somebody, when we're coming closer, that is the idea of wanting to get closer. Closeness breeds more love, it breeds more intimacy. However, desire needs distance. And desire is the only thing that separates you from every other person in our world, whether it be our friends, our family, our neighbors, our coworkers. The desire we feel for you is the only distinction between you and those other people. So if y'all don't have desire in the mix, then you're gonna become just another person in her life. And for those of you who aren't even sure how to get a woman to desire you, don't forget to check out my Speak to Spark Arousal system at speaktosparkarousal.com, where I go over those things step by step to get to where we are now in regards to getting women to stick around once you do get her. So it is this paradox of, yes, we are becoming closer. Yes, we are becoming more familiar with each other. Yes, we are becoming more ingrained in a shared life together. However, unless you're able to keep your own separate life, aside from her, that desire will fizzle out. So keep your nights with the boys, keep your fishing trips, keep your video games and your things that you like to do. Of course, you're gonna blend and share life together one day, but unless you maintain that separateness and remain firm in the man she first fell for, you guys will be doomed to toast each other. And not in like the celebratory way. You will burn each other to the ground and then hate each other. I know so many guys and I have so many clients that go full throttle into relationships. I want to do what she wants to do. I want to hang out every weekend together. We moved in together and now we always get to see each other. Yay! Which is all good and fine. I obviously want you guys to become a couple. You know, that's what most of this channel is based on. But in becoming a couple, too many people lose their sense of selves. There's being independent, there's being dependent, and then there's being interdependent, which means you two being able to man your own boat separately and go in the same direction, as opposed to a lot of people who jump ship into one shared boat and then fight over who's gonna drive the fucking boat and in what direction. Pardon, I'm trying to yell less at you moving forward, but you get the gist of it. So with that said, easiest way to keep a woman wanting you is to keep your own life. No, I'm not saying be a dick and don't make any compromises and don't create a shared life together. That's just grounds for getting fucked around on, to be honest. Or getting left, realistically, because who wants to be with a man who doesn't want to share their lives with us? So keep to your own separate life, share it with her, in the boat, right beside her, and you'll be keeping that girl for as long as you want. Thanks for watching as always, guys, and I'll see you next time.